Hi everyone, Sean here. So this is Office Hour 45. Today we are changing the format a bit because I have some important announcement to share, and I believe that having this kind of format can allow me to communicate more structured way. So actually, Mia and also Rick and also the team have been escalated to me that there is some feedback from some customer that to sharing about like how we are doing things and our roadmap and so on. So I believe that this Office Hour 45 that is for us to actually step back a bit to explain to you what is a AgenticFlow ecosystem is going, and also what is a progress so far. So today is going to include a few parts. So first one, I would like to spend around like 10 minutes to discuss with you about like what is the overall picture of the entire AgenticFlow ecosystem and what we have been working on in a past Q1 right now. So right now we are in the second week of Q2, so it's good to review on Q1 what it looked like, and also moving forward as well, what is the decision and direction as well, because I believe that community need kinds of like clarity on the direction that we are heading. And after that, I'm going to explain to you like what is the roadmap, the reasoning behind, and also why we are building as a platform, and how we are growing as a platform overall. And finally, I'm going to go through the normal changelog, what we have been done in the last 2 weeks. So as you know that we are working in the 2-week iteration. So it has been working like for a year, and we continue to do it that way. Okay. And finally, I will do some demonstration, because I believe that what we built in last iteration is something that's very cool. And I saw that there's some success of the customer that in early beta testing with that. So I would like to share with you. Right, let's start with the first one, which is the ecosystem blueprint. So allow me to share my screen on this one. I hope you can see my screen as of now. So AgenticFlow architecture and system stability update. So let's take a look for a second. This diagram, we already mentioned that for a while, I think in somewhere in January. We know that the AgenticFlow platform have been running in a year, and in less than a year, we developed a lot of features, including multi-agent system, MCP server, native search, high-level imaging, and Office Hour, we announced new feature. But the problem is, we see that there is diverse of two groups. The power user and also the user that cannot really get the hint into the platform. So we believe that I also explained to you that 2,000 page of documentation that we wrote, and also around right now it's around 300 video that we produce on our YouTube channel, will not help you to close a gap. The reality is AI moving so fast, and the more that AgenticFlow team is trying to keep up with the frontier technology, the more things that we add into the platform, and you will feel overwhelmed. And we add human capability for manual configuration of the age of like NAN and so on, is we cannot keep up with that technology change, and this is an interface gap. So the UI drag and drop is actually limiting us right now. And in reality, if you're just building something simple, that's okay. But if you are building some real-world application, complex workflow, you will hit some ceiling in your complexity and capability. So you need an AI to help you. So our hypothesis is based on the pain, the bug, and the fear from the community. And also we also explained to you like in somewhere in early Jan that we are working on Ishi in order to help you to build AgenticFlow better and better. And actually we work our talk and we deliver Ishi for you. And Ishi is, so we know that we cannot just keep running AgenticFlow along by optimizing UI and so on. It's fast horse. We need to build a car. So that's why we need to build an entire new interface that build with you, bring your intent directly to a platform capability. And that's where Ishi coming in. But I think I was receiving a lot of like feedback from you. Like you're seeing like, okay, you are not working on AgenticFlow anymore, and you're working on Ishi, a new feature, fancy new things. Okay, I listen to what you are saying. So my decision from today until end of May, at least, so we would like to spend 3 iterations on this. The primary allocation of the team will be on AgenticFlow ecosystem. What I would say ecosystem, not AgenticFlow, because later I will show you like how AgenticFlow currently is. It's not like just simple app. It's already very big already. And we will focus on critical bugs and target customer fix announcement. So it means if you have problems, please write clear email with reproducible step and send to email support@agenticflow.ai. We will prioritize to addressing that because we believe that as a platform, we already spending time to do the bug fixing and enhancement a lot underlying, and we also continue to build Ishi because we believe that is in the long run. But that's okay. If you don't really like that and you would like us to be back, that's fine. We will commit in next 3 iterations from now until end of May to focus on this one. And if you would like to have us, throw us a bug report. But remember, no new feature for AgenticFlow as well, because we would like to prioritize stability. Because why? I will say to you that I saw there's some ad hoc issue and so on. I would like to say to you, in last 30 days, AgenticFlow engine processed multi-billion token. So that's why I was saying that there were 2 group of power user of AgenticFlow. The one who can make like 20 or 30 agent and running autonomously and burn a lot of token, and the one that cannot start. So I believe that the major difference is whether you are using AI to help you to build workflow agent and multi-agent system or not, or whether you are like utilizing the tool that we are providing you or not. So I think we already make the example in January. I think there's a customer already comment on Discord on how he built things, and he built like a 16 agent system. So it means it's work for power user. And I think when we are making these capability democratized, you can also do it as well. At least you try. Okay, and we will stay here just help you with this one. And let's move to the next one. So the momentum. So let's do a bit of recap on what have been done recently, just in Q1. So what we have done in Q1 is we have clearing a task cleanup background process resolve. We handle the multi-agent payload optimize. We also update some small fix, for example, like scheduling limit. We introduce a new model, Gemini, GM5 Turbo. We also handle some like dynamic AI model refresh auto-sync, and we bring like OpenAI compatible provider. So it means any model, any provider that you currently have, Striker, everything, you can compact that in as long as they are OpenAI compatible. And thanks to Muslin to really pushing us to make it happen. And I hope that this is something useful. We're also doing some kinds of like standardized workflow input schema across view, run and share view. We're also doing some guest and also optimization as well. So that is just like a feel of the thing. But that is what on the surface, what you can see in the UI of the app. But what AgenticFlow right now is not only the web app that you are using, it's an ecosystem already. So let me show you how is it. AgenticFlow is the engine. It's running everything underneath that. You never see this one, but it's there. It's processing multi-billion of token every 30 days. And this is a backend that where agent, MCP client, workforce run actually left, the single source of truth. The interface that you are interacting with is a website, the browser. And the second interface that we are just introducing a couple of weeks ago is the CLI. It is command line interface. So these are the accessible layer that exposing the platform capability in a shape that AI agent that can drive operator and focus on intent. So it means you as a human operator can actually stay away from learning platform capability in order to move to using like the capability that we already equipped for your agent. Because right now, right, this is like Q2 of 2026. If you don't work with AI agent, then what do you do? Yeah, I seriously encourage you to work with agent. Ishi, because it's built in, right? You have the Ishi Pro for free. You can use the AgenticFlow credit for free. You have that credit for lifetime, I know. So you can use that for Ishi. Or you don't like that, you have open code, you have cloud code, you have Codex, you have a lot of things. So why don't you use that? Okay. So that is where I think the world is going, and we are building for that future. And this is what I would like to present to you today. This is 6-layer architecture of the AgenticFlow ecosystem. The core platform, the underlying is at the AgenticFlow.ai is owning the resource, the state, the building, the runtime, the agent, the workforce, whatever that you are working with. This entire platform is a single source of truth. The visual UI is the website that you are seeing every day. So you see some bugs to issue on that. It's only some drag and drop building, dashboard, human trace viewing. This is interface to you. But it's not stopping here. Right now, we have a CLI, which is the universal API contract that payload shape. And this is open source and also publishing on NPM. We also have in AgenticFlow AI toolkit, which is like the AgenticFlow skill that you can equip to your agent. And finally, we also have the desktop AI agent, which is our first party build, which is Ishi, that can have in the local context, can conversational to AI. Some of the user is saying like you are chatting with Ishi is much better than you are working with AgenticFlow. Yeah, because Ishi was built as a one-on-one personal assistant, and that's why it is much more tailoring to daily use, and it's on your computer, so it's much more, comfortable. AgenticFlow as a platform is a platform for building workflow agent, so it's more for the automation and the running tasks and workflow. And finally is the documentation. So we have the 2000, right now it's probably more than 2000 page of documentation already. It's including the concept, the integration guide, the node reference. So if you would like to read it, you read it. Or if you would like your desktop agent to read it, you can throw that link to your agent. So I would like to emphasize to you that when I say about AgenticFlow ecosystem, I will say about this picture. Everything in here is considered as including in the AgenticFlow ecosystem. Not only the web UI, because if we only working on a web UI, it's say back exactly the same where we are as in January, where we have someone that can figure it out and building a lot, and everyone else is actually quite struggle because you cannot just compete with AI, right, in the speed of development. Okay, I would like to emphasize this one. CLI is the universal contract, and it can be used by any desktop agent, including Ishi, which is the first party agent build, Claude Code, Cursor, Gemini, Codex, you name it. If you have something else, use it. This is having some benefit. It is having a local validation. So it means if you have asking this desktop agent to be workflow for you, it will catch the error. It can having some structured error, so it's going to help. So it's kind of like a harness. So agent harness is a keyword. You can search about that. So every value from the platform will be grabbed and also returned in a structured way so that these agents like Ishi or Claude Code know what to do. And it's kind of like harnessing these agents to governing them, to helping them to be more powerful. And partially update. So it means the agent can actually update partial of your agent or workflow in order to make it work. And it's having self-decryption, which means the agent itself can self-exploratory to know the CLI and how everything works together on that. And because we're including Bootstrap, we're including schema and playbook. So this one is normally is for hardcore developer. They're going to read that. But right now we have AI, right? So the AI is going to read that. And I would encourage you to talk to your agent, asking it to download the AgenticFlow CLI and then help you to build whatever that you are building. That is talk on this. And Ishi, you know that Ishi was meant to be like you can communicate the intent and go through the CLI contract, and it will talk to AgenticFlow engine to build better. But Ishi is also a new product. It has bug that we are fixing that. But right now, actually, I make the decision. I respect your call on this one. I will put on hold for Ishi for 6 weeks, and we'll see how this goes. So we will continue to optimize the CLI, which is AgenticFlow CLI, in order to make it work for like Claude Code or Codex and something. But we will not like trying to force you to use Ishi. It's totally your call. If you would like to utilizing what we provide to you, you can use Ishi. But if you don't want that, that's okay. Totally your call. Yep. So I think I will not speed repair on this one. It doesn't matter. So the old way and the new way. We are moving from manually wiring up things together on the web UI and trying to debugging like NAN, right? You are wiring a API node. You need to click a button. It's going to code somewhere. It will return you a log. And then that is called feedback loop. And every time that you're doing that, you are creating a feedback loop and you need to solve yourself. And you or me, as a human, we are becoming the bottleneck for this operation. But right now, the AgenticFlow ecosystem is going to be communicate purely for natural language to agent harness like Ishi, Claude Code, and Codex. Agent harness will drive the CLI, AgenticFlow CLI, instantly assemble the architecture. Agent harness will read the trace log, identities, fail, patch the system. So we returning that, we trying to create a closed loop of the AgenticFlow engine to the agent on desktop so that it can solve the problem, and it will give you a working agent, and you just need to assisting the agent instead of like building 100%. So I believe that this is the future, and conventional AI desktop, and is the web UI still there? Web UI still used for final review. So this is what I would like to propose, and I think this is not the first time I'm showing this picture. The always 100% human manual build, config, and debug. Right now we are in Q2 of 2026. We need to think big, do difference. 10% you brief your favorite agent, Claude Code, use that. Then it will use AgenticFlow CLI, automatically build, write, debug, fix. Final, you do the validate on the UI of AgenticFlow. Try to reduce that time to value under 5 minutes from sign up to deploy runnable agent. I will show you right after this one. It's not even take like 5 minutes, okay? And that is the future that we are building. And just tell you a story. There's a customer of AgenticFlow, tier 5, of course, and he would like, he invests in AgenticFlow, but he do not have time to like utilize that. He assigned an intern that working on this one, and in his first week, he built a multi-agent system. Why? Because actually he technically just built it with help from like agent and also our team, because you are Irish and totally like asking for help from us. So I think everyone should able to build the agent workflow and multi-agent system as your choice, and we are committed to help you to stabilize the system. If there's something that we need to fix, we will fix that and help you to move forward. So this is the chance, because we don't really take this kinds of like talk often, right? We do one in January, and right now we do another in April. I don't want to do it really often like this one either. It's quite formal, not my normal type. But anyway, so we are going to proposing that there will be a ladder of composition for workflow, agent, and workforce. Workflow is for deterministic multi-step pipeline, like summarize URL, connect different LLM code together to do certain things. It reproducible, no agent required. And you can build that in AgenticFlow. Go to tab workflow, create a workflow, do it on the website. Or you can just typing at AF workflow, and the CLI will build it for you. Or maybe you just tell the agent that, hey, I would like to build a workflow, and it will build it for you. Agent is more single chat endpoint or assistant. It will one prompt handle routing. Okay. Workforce or multi-agent system is it the multiple agent hand off task. For example, like researcher, writer, fact check. It complete DAG orchestration. I will show you after this one. Start with the lowest one and then layer up when you are having more complexity or more use case. But anyway, you can talk to your agent that working on this UI. He or she, it depends on how you do. Even if you are using OpenCloud, that's okay. You just giving the CLI, and it will be instructed to read documentation to understand and explain that to you. And this is the core platform. So the synergy loop that we planning to have is the core platform is execute flawlessly and also emit the deep stray log. The human, which is providing intent and local context. The agent, like Ishi or Claude Code, interpret the natural language processing and write a command. And it will run with the AgenticFlow CLI contract. It will translate whatever that we are having here into the core platform, so that run. It will including this feedback loop, and it will create a flying wheel for the platform and also for your workspace, because you can actually accumulating the good workflow, good agent, good workforce over time, the more that you are working with the system. And right now, because we already have the closed loop between your Claude Code and Ishi with the AgenticFlow CLI, so the trace log automatically feedback to Ishi, and it will automatically debug. Or maybe Claude Code if you'd like that. So the core platform is going to be becoming the runtime, and it's a perfect closed loop development cycle that I don't think that is something that obvious that every other platform that choosing to do. So that is our position on this one. We do not build a web app that's simple. We are building something big. It's an ecosystem and it is growing. It's having a built-in flying wheel that can help you to, bring the business to AgenticFlow. So what else? So before in January and so on, we already lay out some key feature. For example, like traceability engine, debug, and feedback, the task dashboard, agent versioning, all of them are already gone. We already finished and deployed. You can check it in your workflow. Next step focus, we decide to feature freeze for both Ishi and also AgenticFlow like general. We only focus on platform stability and targeted bug fix if raising by customer directly to one channel, support at AgenticFlow.ai. If you are seeing an issue or something that bugging you that you would like to do, submit an issue here. We promise to review them and also categorize them because not everything is going to be bug. It could be maybe a new feature request that you would like to have, but technically I cannot because I promise you that from now until the end of May, I will hand the new development of feature. We'll very carefully, if only if there's something that we really want to introduce, we will introduce. Otherwise, we will prioritize the bug fix and the stability of the platform overall. So we will do something that underlying that maybe you not see, but it will improve. For example, like we are going to improve kinds of like mechanism to ensure the latency and also the load between the agent, because we identify that there's some pattern of the really power user that is pushing a lot of pressure on the platform that impacting the experience of other. So we can put some mechanism in place to ensure the platform stability so that we will not introducing someone that really like squeeze out all of the resource and also let other having some instability. So that is something that we will do. And that is the slide that I would like to share. It is worth 22 minutes already. I hope that you're still with me for now, but if you don't, then that is okay. So next one I would like to show you is this page. So this is the ecosystem platform CLI. It actually seems same with the slide that I share, but it is written in the document format so that you can read about like the 6 layers that we have, the layer diagram, the core platform, the AgenticFlow CLI, the visual and the docs, and also how the CLI will be consumed by other desktop agent, and where are you as a human going to be this one. And we also introducing some other stuff. For example, like we introducing like the journey of the agent when some desktop agent is actually doing some prompt and so on, what exactly it's going to do. And is it the journey that running in the CLI, and you can read to understand further than that. Even like including like workforce, where right now AgenticFlow CLI already introduced capability to creating multi-agent system. So you can throw it to Claude Code or Ishi. They can create agent for you. Okay, I will show you later. So this is a very long page. I will not throw here. This is the first page that I think you should have a look. The second page that you have to look is if you would like to look for something that you would like to work through, then I would suggest that you come into this page. It is CLI walkthrough, and there is a step-by-step guide how you can install the CLI, and then we will give you also some prompts that you can use. For example, like this one is like you need an AgenticFlow account, an API key, a desktop agent. Maybe you like Repro, Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, or Ishi. Up to you, but maybe some people don't like Ishi, then go ahead. You can use whatever you want. So you can install in CLI by using this command npm install pixel/start AgenticFlow CLI. You log in and also you run this command ff bootstrap.json. You can run that, or maybe you just copy it and tie this one, you throw that to Claude Code, and it will get that for you. And if you are using Claude Code and you don't want to just play around with raw CLI, you can also install a plugin. And also if you are like Gemini CLI user, you use that extension. That is the same. So basically the plugin is actually more like instructive to helping you to using the CLI better. But actually for the modern application, for example, like Claude Code is already very smart already. So it can operate on the CLI very smart. Okay. So here is like I gave you some prompt. Okay, build your first workflow in under 2 minutes. Build second workflow under 2 minutes. Build a agent in under 2 minutes. Build a agent that write and generate image in 3 minutes. And build a multi-agent workforce. So I give you the prompt here. You can just paste that to Claude Code. Okay, so I think I will just give you an example. Okay, so all right, let's talk about the CLI walkthrough and so on. So CLI is kind of like a new feature. So this is a kind of experiment, and I would like to give you kind of like a runbook so that you can give it a try. Please be aware that CLI might have bug, and it is in scope for us to fix the CLI so that it work better in the upcoming 6 weeks. So if you have also bug on the CLI, also let us know as well. But if you go into here, you can see that a few things. You will need an AgenticFlow account. You have an API key in your favorite desktop AI agent. Your first step is you need to install the CLI. It takes 1 minute. Just copy this command and type, and also log in and then bootstrap. If everything okay, then okay. After that, you can consider to choosing like a plugin installing Claude Code and Gemini, but this is optional because we already pack most of everything that we need in the CLI as well. So normally the agent should be able to discover themselves. Okay, so first of all, like it's very simple like this. So you just need to copy this prompt. For example, like use AgenticFlow CLI, build simplest string that fetch the URL, summarize it. Pick an interesting Wikipedia article as the demo URL, deploy, run once, show me the summary, and leave the workflow deploy. Okay, and print the web UI link for me. And okay, I will copy this one. I go into my Ishi. Let me create a new chat. I will paste here. As you can see, we are using a Gemini 426B with 4 billion parameter activate that come with your AgenticFlow. You can choose better model, that's okay, but I'm comfortable with this. So we just send a message. Okay, the agent will learn to use. It will bootstrap AgenticFlow to get project ID and model list. It will deploy a summarized URL workflow blueprint. It will try to run it because you build it, you need to run it, right? Before, this capability do not have, but because we improve the AgenticFlow CLI so that we can equip the agent like Ishi or Claude Code or whatever, the state-of-the-art capability. So this is the workflow. So it is about, I think it makes some workflow that analyzing about AI. Let me copy this URL. Let me open here. Let me copy, paste, and go. Enter. We have a workflow here. It consists of 2 steps. One is to fetch the URL, and the second one is summarize the URL. The input was set to one single URL. Let's go into History tab. You can see here, so it just like 1 minute ago, it had been created, and it's actually technically run a workflow. It was putting a URL about the artificial URL. I think Ishi like this topics. It will fetch the article from here, and it will summarize to 3 key points. So that's it. How you can make your first workflow in, I don't know, under 2 minutes. Let's work on the second one. So you can build a second workflow with an HTTP API. Okay, let's put here. Let's copy this URL. Copy this one. Go to my Ishi. Give new chat. Paste here. And enter. Okay, it do it again. It's going to read the workspace ID. It will deploy this workflow blueprint. It deploy API summary in a placeholder. Okay. Let me copy this URL. Copy. And let's paste this one. So this one is the input of like URL endpoint, get endpoint to call. It will call URL with the get method. It will get the result and then fetch the body and also summarization. It also trigger a run. Let's go here. So actually it was getting this JSON placeholder and it will get this data. And then after it get this data, it actually going to summarize the key field. And we see that title, user ID, and complete is false. So it will summarize into user ID, title, and completed. So that's it. So your workflow is created with AgenticFlow CLI through Ishi. Okay. So I already run on 2 part on Ishi, but I would like to take another prompt. I will run on Cloud Code, and you can see how is it going to work. So let me narrow down this one a bit. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in here. So I will build an agent with Cloud Code. And what I'm going to paste here, I just paste here and I just enter. Okay, basically use AgenticFlow CLI, deploy a research agent that answer queries. Okay, I give you permission to do. Okay, Cloud Code is like to ask a question. Yes, go ahead. So I think Cloud Code is coming up with some like current event researcher. Yep, go ahead, Cloud Code. It look like Cloud Code. It actually figured out to using some blueprint. So it already just did on the creation of a research agent. And then it going to send a task to agent and waiting for a result. It's returning something, and Claude would like to fetch that information. And actually Claude is doing interesting things that the agent actually responds something and Claude do the web search himself to verify again whether the agent is working or not working. And this is the agent that the Claude is having to me. And this is the workflow link that Claude is having. And even like Claude giving me to go into the thread as well. So let me copy this URL on Claude. Copy this one. Go in here. Go here. Paste. And so this is an agent that Claude just create. Current event researcher. It including 4 plugins, including web search, web retrieval, API call, and even like string to JSON. And it actually making some progress in here. It was receiving the message from Claude that saying what's the major technology software trend. It do web search 2 times. It do web retrieval 1 time. And it answer the question with this one and Swiss citation. And Claude will verify. So that is how I believe that the new way of doing things, where you can continue to work through all of the rest of the workflow and step we here. We even like having a prompt that's going to build a multi-agent workforce using this prompt with Claude Code or with Ishi, depends on your choice. Just copy this one and paste to Claude. Today is I need to finish this one and I need to upload on YouTube, so I will skip this one. But I already make something in here. So for example, like I make something. For example, this one is parallel research. Is the agent that I create with help from Claude. It has a few agent, for example, like the CEO and have the researcher A and researcher B, and also synthesized by the CMO, and we have the output. We can click on this one, we can click on setting, and we can read the instruction that we have this one, and you can click on this one. You will see that this is the CEO, is the research coordinator, and this is your job and your team goal. And also we have different team member like this agent, and these are actually you can see that they are span. So they are actually a pattern in multi-agent system that like you have different branch, and also they centralize into like one, which is the CMO, to synthesize information and research. And if you are running this as a workforce, it's going to be something like this. This team is going to take one request, and the coordinator will come up with a task for A and B. And also A and B will do a lot of like test, run. And finally, it's going to provide an update, and then coming to the synthesizer with the CMO actually going to compromise into a final report. So that is how easy it is that you can use. And that is not available before today, because actually we make it available via AgenticFlow CLI. Anyway, so this is the last one. I need to move fast. So in Office Hour 45, and we make a lot of improvement in terms of like engine stability and critical fix, including fixing the memory leak in agent task cleanup, multi-agent metadata of some misassociation, some parallel research workforce no longer handle missing report. Workflow agent can reliably use their aesthetic tool. Workflow run forgiving and can block until complete. With new await flag. So it means Cloud Code can use this one in order to wait for a workflow run to complete and also getting the result back to you. It's going to have some public workforce URL where you can publish the workforce for other people to use. There's some improvement on traceability. I think I would like to repeat that we have the debug mode on, I communicated it a couple of weeks ago, but in case that you missed, you can click on an icon and it will open the debug trace and you can see full trace of this one. And because we have this one, so actually we can feed the trace back to Cloud Code and so on, so it can actually do the debug for you. And we also have the dashboard where we have all of the tasks that are running by your agent system. And we have also the versioning where we can publishing a version of agent and also can do the working on the upcoming version. Okay. And on the platform infrastructure and optimization, we also fixed the error of like limiting to 10 active schedule. We uplift that to 50 concurrent, and we will continue to monitor in case that anyone that doing some. We also standardize the workflow input and output. We also have some suggested reply. For example, Anton was raising some requests on this one, and we fixed that. So right now, your agent can actually using the suggested reply in the website. We also are doing new like API key and authentication on Marketplace and MAS endpoint. So previously, this one was kind of private, exclusive to the website. But right now, we make it public and it is open to the CLI. So it means it's open to the agent as well. We're also having the auto refresh model list on OpenAI compatible provider. So it means if your provider having a list of model, then you don't need to add them manually one by one. You can just add that OpenAI compatible URL and it's going to kind of like fetch the list automatically. Yeah, so it's very useful. We're also introducing Gemma 26B with 4 billion active and Gemma 4 with 30 billion active, which is the dense model. You can find that in AgenticFlow and covered by Azure AgenticFlow credit. We're also having a request for Technoscotty. It's about the custom HTTP header and cell hot activity. We also fixed that and enhance this one. You can use that from today. We have a lot of improvement in CLI and desktop agent, including composition leader, the preview, the blueprint, some live marketplace catalog. We're also releasing the AI Toolkit plugin for Cloud Code and OpenAI. You can read that into the ecosystem and also CLI workflow. I will not repeat here. We update some docs about ecosystem and also hands-on as well. We're also increasing some recursion limit of the template of blueprint to 100. This is something that if you would like to increasing your like agent loop to having longer running, you can set it to maximum 100 recall, and this is a lot. And we also one of the thing that we decide that we will decommission the Paperclip for now. The reason this is a feedback from Umbra, and he was questioning why we are doing Paperclip. And actually, it's not coming out of nowhere. We were requesting from a customer on AgenticFlow customer about Paperclip, and somehow it's very aligned to what we already have on the AgenticFlow CLI. So that's why I bring that as an experiment into the platform. But given the decision today of freezing new feature, I don't think that I will have bandwidth to maintain the integration with Paperclip. I will resume that when the system more stabilized, or maybe the bug that you're sending to us is very few, then we will continue on the experiment on the ecosystem. But final word, I would like to emphasize to everyone that when I say about, or we say about AgenticFlow ecosystem, please remind that it including 6 layers of the architecture. It's not only the web that you are working on, it includes everything. And I hope that with today's suggestion and also sharing on how we work with the CLI on the Cloud Code and so on, it will help some of you if you would really want to up your game with AgenticFlow. And you can use Ishi. It's already include the model that you can use with the 26B or of Gemma from Google. That's perfectly fine. Or if you would like to have using your Cloud Code subscription or Codex subscription for more stable development, go ahead and do it. And I hope that this is clear for this week Office Hour, and I will see you in the next 2 weeks. And I hope you enjoy what we are sharing today. Send out more record. Final part. No bug, no fix. Obvious. We will try to improve the stability and testing ourselves. But if you spot it, please raise it to us. That's very helpful. Thanks. Have a good day.